Can USC catch Oregon and become the best West Coast team in the Big Ten?
I think it's very possible, man. I like Dave's thoughts when we talk about USC, and I know I have my opinions, and when we talked about them throughout time this year, USC can definitely be that team out west and catch Oregon. You just thinks about the matchups in the Pac-10 when they have Pac-10, I think, and then the Pac-12 before they made the conference adjustments. I definitely think this is a year that USC could possibly be right there. You know, they definitely ended the season on a great note, so I think they can catch Oregon.
I believe they can as well. I believe they can as well. You know, a couple good recruiting classes, and they right back in the mix. So I think they definitely had the best chances of catching up with West Coast teams.
I agree. I think that they can catch up with Oregon as well. They got to be one of the top programs on the West Coast. I know that Oregon has been good for quite a while, but USC is still the premier program out west. So I don't know if it's going to happen under Lincoln Riley. For some odd reason, it feels like Lincoln Riley cannot get a good defensive coordinator, or maybe coordinators don't necessarily want to play with Lincoln Riley because he's such an offensive guy. Maybe he neglects the defense. I don't know what it is because I'm not out there at USC, but I think they have a chance to do it. They got a
Mute,
really
mute
good
the
recruiting
phones,
class
eh?
this year.
What
They got a
happened?
really good recruiting class this year, and they really gotta figure this thing out, man, so that they can become relevant again out there. Now they're in a conference that's gonna, it's not gonna let up for them. It's not gonna be no easy pickings like it was in the Pac-12, where you might only had two good teams. Now you're facing six and seven, eight good teams every year. So, well, for the most part. So we'll have to wait and see what happens with them. Okay.
Yeah, Lincoln Riley, bro. US, it's just a matter of time. It's just a matter of time before US take that over back out west. Because really, honestly, Lincoln Riley was killing it at Oklahoma. He was killing it. Now, change of scenery. I think a lot of the times we just rushing the process too much. I think we need to just give him some time, bro. Last year, I thought they was one of the best 500 teams in the country. This year, I think they got one of the best receiving corps again. They had the same two dudes, Jacoby Lane and the Lemon dude. So, I mean, listen, as long as that defense just keep on moving a step up, they'd be all right. I think they're gonna be real competitive this year. Better than what their record suggests, I should say, from last year. They was competitive last year. And Oregon, I can't stand Oregon. These bums always getting busted up in the playoffs or in like a bowl game. They always get busted up. They go 11 and 1, 10 and 2, and get busted in a Rose Bowl or something. Always. It never fails.
A big game for them for sure.
Yeah, I wonder if at some point that's going to have people looking at Dan Lanning a little differently. Because I mean, he was really good 2 years ago when they faced Washington. When Washington made it to the national championship game against Michigan, they couldn't get over the Washington hump. Last year, they couldn't get over the Ohio State hump, even though they won a controversial game in Oregon during the regular season. But Ohio State put it on them like they stole their mama's purse. And
Yes, sir.
so is Dan Lanning's Oregon team going to be able to get over that hump? Or is he going to realize, listen, maybe I can't win a national championship here in Oregon. I'm going to have to go somewhere else that might have a vacancy, like at a Florida or Miami or Alabama or a place like that where maybe the coach doesn't last that long. Maybe even Texas A&M.
See, I don't like giving these dudes excuses like that. He in a college town. He got a big bag. They got the best jerseys in college football. What else is he missing? I don't. I just don't understand. Like, where if you can't win in a place like Oregon, where can you win?
But they're winning. They're just not finishing.
Yeah, and that's what I've been saying. That's what I was saying about Oregon.
He
I
winning.
don't care who the coach is. And another thing is, Mariota was your quarterback. Bro, I don't trust drafting Oregon players either. They always turn out to be busts. It's something about Oregon. Honestly, it might be in the water.
If you think about the history when you say that too, they can't win the big game. If you think about Oregon over the years, they could beat this team with the best uniforms. They dropping a new uniform every week, but at the end of the season, you're talking about a game that they're losing within the conference. And as you just mentioned, Washington, Ohio State, and then now we speaking of USC, they're in this Big Ten conference together now. So this would definitely be some interesting things to look at this season with Oregon as well as USC and how they even bounced back from winning the Big Ten this past year, but losing to Ohio State when it mattered most. And this is an Oregon team that they do it all the time. As they said, it's the history of them.
Do y'all think that they get a lot of skill players out there, but do they really get the trenches like you see some of the Georgias, the Ohio States, the Texas, the Michigans? Do they get the trenches like that out there in Oregon? Do guys go out there to play
Yeah,
for
they
in
get
those
them.
trenches?
Yeah, they get them. They get them good, big defensive ends, and yeah, they get them linemen. Yeah, they have no excuse.
If you judge it by recruiting rankings, bro, they get the same players everybody else get. I'm trying to tell you. Hey, and I would beg to differ that they get better players. They got the number one tackle in the transfer portal this year, Isaiah World. So I
They
mean,
stole 5-star from us.
we go yeah. They get the same players, bro. I just don't understand. I don't know what it is. I'm trying to tell you, it's in the water.
It's in the water.
Yeah,
But
it's in
ducks
the
can
water.
swim. Ducks can swim in the water, bro.
Yeah,
Huh?
they love the water.
Ducks can swim in the water.
That's home.
Yeah, I don't care that a duck swim in the water. It just don't make them. It don't make them fierce. They is a duck. At first of all, you feel me? We eat duck. You ever had some good